It's creepy season, and we're continuing with the series That Frightening Fantasy Chick. This year, we're focusing on creepy TV shows. What all of these shows have in common is the dual world effect. In each show, there is a regular world as normal people see it. Then there is a separate supernatural world that the main character and their friends see and interact with. It is also up to the main characters to fight the evil forces that reside in the supernatural world. And sometimes there are world-ending consequences. Today, I'm talking about Sleepy Hollow. More specifically, Abbie and Ichabod. But first, a word from Mpressive Collections. Mpressive Collections is your one-stop shop for custom creations for every occasion, especially if you are looking for fun Halloween-themed items. With Mpressive Collections, you can find t-shirts, hoodies, tumblers, coasters, mouse pads, journals, wallets, lunch bags, tote bags, and much, much more. There is literally something for everyone. Check them out. Link in the description. So even if you didn't watch Sleepy Hollow, you could guess by now that it was a take on the legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. Growing up, I remember watching the cartoon every single Halloween and seeing Ichabod Crane as this snivelly little coward. So it was interesting to see a show where Ichabod was portrayed as a soldier and I think a spy. He's British, but fighting for America? Apparently Sleepy Hollow is on Hulu, but I don't have Hulu, so excuse my memory. He is the one who originally killed the Headless Horseman, but he was injured, so his wife, who is a witch, links Ichabod to the Headless Horseman. So when an evil force awakens the Headless Horseman 200 years later, Ichabod awakens as well. It's definitely a fish out of water story with Ichabod trying to adjust to modern life.
You printed this 5 times.
Correct.
Why?
In case the picture vanishes from the screen like it did a moment ago.
What is this impenetrable barrier around this instrument?
It's called plastic. I bought scissors.
Very annoying.
He is paired with Abbie Mills, the always excellent Nicole Beharie, and later, her sister Jenny. As always with stories like these, there's a prophecy, and Abbie and Jenny had been exposed to this supernatural world when they were children. But when Jenny started telling everyone they knew what they saw, and everyone thought she was crazy, Abbie just threw her in the bus and acted like she didn't know what her sister was talking about. The Headless Horseman was one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and it was up to Abbie, Ichabod, and Jenny to stop the apocalypse from happening. Every week, there was a supernatural occurrence that they had to investigate, as well as looking for clues on how to defeat the horsemen. So how were Abbie and Ichabod robbed? They were the male and female leads of the show, which would normally make them the subject of the will they or won't they that's popular in TV shows. And Tom Mison and Nicole Beharie had major chemistry, like sizzling off the screen hot. I don't know if they had a ship name, but there was definitely an audience rooting for them. But the show seemed to go out of its way to cock block them. Every time you thought they were on the cusp of a romantic relationship, some platonic wrench was thrown in the works. The biggest wrench being bringing back Ichabod's beloved wife from the dead, thus killing any hope of Abbie and Ichabod ever getting together. Then, of course, there was definitely no going back once Nicole Beharie was fired off the show. And when I read why, it made the treatment of Abbie and Ichabod make sense. Apparently, in a book called Burn It Down by Maureen Ryan, it is reported from numerous sources that behind the scenes of the show, the black and white cast were treated unequally. There was also a false rumor of Nicole Beharie biting a production hairstylist. This rumor not only got her fired off the show, but it negatively affected her career. One of the sources was Orlando Jones, and we all remember him talking about his abrupt firing from American Gods.
I'm not gonna name names, but the new season 3 showrunner is Connecticut born and Yale educated, so he's very smart. And he thinks that Mr. Nancy's angry, get shit done is the wrong message for Black America.
And how the new showrunner didn't think his character was good for Black America.
The only good news is the tobacco your grandkids are gonna farm for free is gonna give a shitload of these white motherfuckers cancer.
Or whatever the hell that means. Yeah, so I always had an inkling that the black-white thing stood in the way of Abbie and Ichabod, despite the fact that it was 2013. But with Orlando's experience on both Sleepy Hollow and American Gods, and Kat Graham's treatment on The Vampire Diaries.
But at the time, I was so thoroughly sidebarred in so many moments to the point where there was so many reactions online to it that the feeling that I was different was even more heightened by the public's perception and understanding of it as well. Everything from my clothes, my hair, my relationships, the storylines, the love interests I would get or not get, a lot of things I feel were based around the fact that I was different.
Made it all the more believable that the powers that be had a problem with an interracial romance, which is a shame because Abbie and Ichabod were great together. I truly believe that if they built on their relationship together instead of looking for ways to keep them apart, the show would have lasted longer. They were the foundation of the show. So when you purposely blow up your foundation, you can't be surprised when the whole thing comes crashing down. I loved the show. I loved Abbie and Ichabod. I'm sorry that it never lived up to its potential, but that's the fault of the powers that be. It's depressing, especially for someone like me who's a writer-director of sci-fi, fantasy, and action, but I can only hope that things will change. And one day, we will be able to put as much effort behind an interracial love story as we do an incestuous one. So, did you watch The Legend of Sleepy Hollow every single Halloween? Did you ship Abbie and Ichabod? Let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if there's something you would like to see me talk about. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to know the next time I upload or go live. Thanks.
Will we be sharing a cell, Lieutenant?